Okay, and welcome everybody to another episode of our TRI312 Multi-Sport Monthly. We've had just a little bit of a break over the holidays, so welcome to January, and also welcome to, so as of our recording, this is January 19th, and well, at some point I did have the Bear Down song queued up. Congratulations on a great season. I am not a Bears fan, but I would have liked to have had y'all season. That was incredible. Bears almost pulled it out yet again, and almost another comeback Bears victory by the Wizard Caleb Williams. So, guys, any thoughts on the Bears game last night?
It was fun to watch until the very end.
You know, if they do this next year, please give every Bears fan in the stadium a defibrillator. I'm just saying. So.
And why is that? Just so that they can you can resuscitate them after having a heart attack?
Yes, because it's the anxiety.
Yeah.
But I
thought you meant it was because they were freezing to death.
No, I mean, it's cold. I mean, it's football, cold weather.
Yeah.
But they had a really good season, and I don't think anyone really saw this happening, but hey, you know what? This is going to take us into the 2027 season, so hopefully we can build on this momentum that we had. But, they get to now go on vacation.
Yeah.
Everyone else still plays.
Well, as the ESPN promo or ESPN Chicago promo states that they are no longer the new home of the Bears. They actually now switched it to home of the new Bears because they are that much better, and you actually feel like the Bears have a chance now in every single game, and hopefully a nice long run here for the future. And speaking of new homes and for the future, we would like to welcome you to potentially our new home for our TRI312 broadcast, which is an expansion of a home that I've been in for the last 5 years. And this is now our new Northside Fitness and Performance Training Center. It is off of Ravenswood and Bertaux here in the Ravenswood neighborhood here in the north side of Chicago. So it's nice to sort of house us and hopefully this for the foreseeable future. And as we continue to build and grow here, hopefully this studio will as well in our nice new space with a growing and expanding setup here in on the north side of Chicago. So guys, in addition to that, we are also hoping that along with myself training here, that we also have some friends to come join us to provide additional training for triathletes and other general population athletes over the course of the next year and beyond, we hope. So guys, in terms of types of training that we're looking to try to provide here in our space at Northside Fitness and Performance, Joy, tell us a little bit about what you're looking and hoping to add on to here. And Chris, you as well. What are some of the things that we're hoping to accomplish in terms of indoor training for our triathletes?
So I'm hoping we'll be adding in the future, stay tuned for Pilates mat classes. As I tell everyone, Pilates is my secret weapon to endurance training. If you do not have a strong core, what's the purpose?
I've noticed my FTP on the bike has been steadily going down as I have not participated in your Pilates.
Shame.
So it's time to reverse that curve.
Because what was it? Ironman Maryland, where you did an excellent bike and also you didn't have any pain in your back going to the run. Oh,
yeah, that was my bike.
I wonder what could have done that.
There's actually a correlation between doing strength and thinking and
it was
performance.
Pilates.
Yes, it was Pilates. So stay tuned for more information on that and how you can participate.
And Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited because this will kind of give us an opportunity to have a clean slate to create new programs for a lot of our communities. So there's Team Net Aids or local tri clubs and groups that we all support. It's kind of like an umbrella that can create a shelter for all of our triathletes in the city. So hopefully this will be a meeting ground and a kickoff space. I think for athletes starting their Rockford training in a couple of weeks, we might do a kickoff ride here. I'm hoping to experiment with a few new things, including potentially some heat training programs on the bike, as well as just the general lab testing. So I'm excited to be able to have one place where I can pretty much do all my mad scientist lab experiments with athletes. So all the VO2 testing, lactate testing, bike,
RMR.
run, RMR, yeah, all the fun stuff in one place, so people can have a true full service training center again.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we have expanded this location to now a full 2,000 square feet, and who knows where we will be in the future, but and potentially expanding even further and even larger. But what we're trying to accomplish here at the new Northside Fitness and Performance is a lot of us who work out of here are just independent coaches or trainers that have acquired and developed our own business. But for those of you that have a trainer or have a coach that you feel that you may need a home here on the north side, maybe reach out to us. And our website is right there. And currently we have myself, my original partner, a great personal trainer by the name of Dan Klaczynski. We have a new trainer coming in, my wife's trainer. Her name is Nikki Veit, who does a lot of great, amazing kettlebell work and super strong athletes for female training and the like. And then we also now have officially Chris coming on board for all of his metabolic testing and services for RMR, VO2 Max, and amongst other things. And then now, as we move further into 2026, is now the TRI312 group as a collective, now offering, hopefully, group strength, group Pilates, Mat Pilates, cycling, our small group cycling classes. So we're going to hope to build this. But again, more information's to be coming. But if you want to reach out to us and get more information, inquire a little bit more, please do so on our website below. So again, excited to be here and excited for the new opportunities that this presents.
Ooh.
So remember, that's our
have a good segue.
right. That was our pause going into. So now looking ahead into 2026. Okay, so we've got lots of races coming up, a lot of new races, a lot of events that began last year for the first time or restarted last year for the first time, and hoping that we can provide a little bit more of a sort of a forecast for everybody as to what their 2026 calendar might look like. So looking ahead, everybody, to our goal setting for the year starting in January. Guys, what should they be thinking about right now if they're not quite sure what their 2026 racing schedule should look like?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, in general, goal setting, I highly encourage people to actually sit down and write out a goal, get pen to actual paper, not just like typing it on a keyboard, and sharing your goals with other people, whether it's your friends or family. Get other people to help hold you accountable on your goals and to maybe join you in those goals, whether it's, on a race day, spectating or racing with you. But I think look at the calendar ahead and just pulling the trigger, commit, sign up, find the races that you want to do, find out about the new races too. So I know a lot of the local tri clubs like Chicago Tri Club and others that do their first kind of meetings of the new year. They're always centered around, okay, what races are you doing? And people start sharing information about what they did last year, what races they're doing this upcoming year. And regionally, there's a couple new ones too. Like I'm looking forward to the USA Triathlon is actually having 2 national championships within driving distance from Chicago.
Very nearby.
Milwaukee in August, but also the multi-sport national championships in May, which features a water slide triathlon and a whole slew of events. So you can do like 8 or 9 events over a 4 or 5 day period.
And that's right around over in Michigan.
Right over in Michigan. So that's one that I'm looking forward to personally.
Yeah. Joy, thoughts on goal setting starting in January?
Well, I always tell people January is a restart, a reset. So whatever you did in 2025, that's in the past. It's time to start fresh. So if you haven't been on your bike, dust that bike off, get on it. If you haven't ran since, I don't know, maybe the turkey trot. I mean, there's some folks who stop after a marathon they stop running, or after the turkey trot, dust off your running shoes, put them on, go out for a mile. That's about it. Just see how your body's feeling. Just January is about building your base, not worry about extra long distance or extra hard workouts, but just building that base that's going to help you down the road with other races you're doing. So,
yeah. And to one of the points Chris pointed out earlier, purchasing the race is an excellent motivator. In fact, I had one athlete right at the beginning of the year just said, "Here we go," and I got a screenshot of him purchasing his entry into Ironman Wisconsin. So he's like, "All right, I now have no choice." So no better motivator than knowing that you have paid for and probably should go ahead and train for, especially for something like an Ironman.
oh yes.
Other thing that I would point out, because as you may or may not have noticed, for those of you watching, if you yourself, or you probably know at least one other person, if not several people, that have been infected by the cold or flu or COVID or any number of ailments that have just been like ravaging through the city of Chicago and regional area. I know I'm not immune to it, unfortunately, because I got the flu over Christmas and am still trying to recover from that. I still have some inflammation in my chest and still coughing a little bit at night. So it's not fun, but knowing that that is a thing for those of you that are affected, or if you're a coach out there and you have an athlete that's affected by it, just remember, again, it is still just January. So most of the events and races that we have later on in the year, maybe it is starting off in May, that there is still time to allow your body to recover. Don't feel that you have to force yourself to get back into it, whether it's in terms of the intensity or the distance that you may be accustomed to. Allow yourself to ease back into it. Listen to your body. Don't push it, because it is still recovering from that ailment. So allow that inflammation to recover, allow your endurance, your cardiovascular to recover, your breathing to recover, still get good rest, still hydrate, all the things that all of our fine doctors recommend. But just remember, take it easy, take it slow, get back into it, allow your body to ease back in. And then when you feel you're fully recovered, then hit it hard.
Yeah.
I think getting started is sometimes the hardest thing after a little bit of a setback.
Yeah.
The other two things I would say is, one, get a plan, get a training plan, and it's okay to start from ground zero again, and build running, especially the higher impact sport, up gradually. But getting a plan is a good way to, set a goal, or sign up for a race, set a goal, then get your plan. And then ultimately also try to do some type of assessment. I'm actually curious to pick your brain on a strength assessment.
Find one right after this.
Find a way to see where you're at. Like, I know on the bike, my FTP always drops down, 10% or so in the off season. Mm-hmm. And then, I never want to do that first assessment when I know the number is going to be coming down, but it makes all of my future workouts for the next several weeks actually easier. And then I get back to where I was quicker, rather than trying to do workouts and push myself too much and then having another setback.
Just remember, what you measure, you can manage.
Yes.
So, and it's not a bad thing, even if it's gone down, it's a little bit slower, it's not as what you're either hoped for or used to. It's just a starting number. It's a starting point. You work from there and go from there.
Yeah.
And just know that I'm doing my first FTP test on Wednesday in over 6 years.
Ooh. Has it been that long?
It's been 6 years.
My goodness.
Yes, it's been 6 years. I have
Deep breaths. You can do it. We believe in you.
Yeah, I already did. I've already done my annual VO2 Max with Chris, RMR. So that is all good to go.
That's I need to do too. I just realized I haven't done a VO2 test in over a year, so I need to get myself on the torture treadmill.
Yes,
again.
I've actually done my strength assessment. I do a strength assessment every year because I'm that person.
Yeah, it's good.
So I know where I'm at. Wednesday,
hey, we'll see where you're at. And maybe we'll report back come February on how well she did and where she is.
And did I
going.
puke?
I think, we need to hold each other accountable for our goals too.
I'm doing it.
I think each one of us, what we should actually do is we should, once we post this video, in the comments, we have to post our individual goals to kind of put them out there.
Okay.
And then if other people out there want to follow along, put in the comments what goal you're going to set. That way it's written in stone and we can help hold you accountable. And then maybe a year from now, we're going to come right back here.
Let's see where.
And we're going to pull up the list of goals.
Okay.
We'll see how we did.
All right.
Oh yeah, Chris, don't forget, you need to sign up for a half marathon that's in a couple of days.
Oh yeah, I'm not doing that.
Am I the only one break?
Right out of the gate, we are off and running smoothly. So now, Joy, you have to now hold down the anchor for starting us off correctly and enthusiastically on the goal setting. So yeah,
Because I have a half marathon next week.
all right.
Well, I think that's a good segue to also talk about races and events people are doing.
We were just gonna go there.
This time of year, there aren't that many options.
Yeah.
But I know the F3 half and 5K is coming up.
Yep.
So maybe I'm not ready for the half because I have not done my base mileage yet, but I might do the 5K. So I might pull the trigger for that.
And remember, guys, too, is in terms of goals, FTP is great. Signing up for a race is good. Sometimes it could just be an aesthetic type of goal, so that because somebody is just trying to look good for their wife for our 10th anniversary. So, which could still include FTP tests, VO2 Max tests, making sure I know how my fat carbs are burning correctly.
We each need to put the other two through an assessment.
There you go.
Yeah. You put us through Pilates, you put us through strength, I'll put us through either VO2 or FTP. Okay. And that's how we'll get started.
I'm getting way too happy about putting them through.
3 assessments for one crew to figure out how our season is going to go.
How to move for the rest of the year.
Yes.
So, all right. Excellent. All right. Well, that being said, we're going to move on now to what comes next and some other things that we can actually incorporate into this goal setting.
Yes.
So for those of you that have their goals for the year and are looking ahead to what sort of races and events that you are training for, some things that tend to be a nice little help along the way, a little barometer test for some of our triathletes, especially if they have never done a triathlon before, or even more so for those that are seasoned, experienced triathletes that are just trying to look to remember how to put all 3 things together. No better thing than an indoor triathlon.
Yes.
So looking ahead to 2026, indoor tries. We have both some of our colleagues around the greater Chicagoland area that have already started to build their indoor try calendar. We are trying to do so for one with TRI312. We also have the collegiate indoor try. So, Chris, can you tell us a little bit more about what those are and how might people start signing up for these looking ahead?
Yeah, they're actually generally harder to find, so sometimes you have to know where to look. But a lot of the collegiate club teams, because of this time of year, there are no outdoor races for them to do. They actually have to do a race in order to register and compete at the Collegiate Club Nationals, which is coming up in March. So a lot of the local tri-club or collegiate club teams are putting together indoor tries so that they can then register for the Collegiate Club Nationals, which is down in Mississippi this year. But locally, one of the bigger ones, Northwestern, their tri-club puts one together every February. And it is open to the public as well. So people look on the Northwestern website, I think on the athletics website. I don't know the URL or the website offhand, but if you look up,
They'd be here
they're
probably.
yeah, we'll find something to put on the screen. But I think it's the Wildcats Triathlon Club. And I think they have an Instagram. They usually post it on there. So if you look them up for their Instagram, you can probably find it there. And it's very inexpensive. It's a nice facility. It has an indoor running track, which is always nice for the indoor tries.
Love it.
There's other local ones too. The Recplex Center up across the border in Wisconsin has one. A bunch of local gyms are doing them. But the Northwestern one is actually one of the biggest ones in the area. I think they have over 100 people that usually do that one. And a lot of the other teams, like I'm working with the University of Chicago as a tri-club, they're going to come up to Northwestern, compete, even as far away as the Ohio State has their tri club do a road trip to Chicago, and they come and compete. And it's fun because it's like a scrimmage between, universities, and they all bring their cheering squads and they're there. So it creates a lot of good energy. So I'd highly encourage any triathlete that's looking for something to do this time of year. If you want to do an assessment and have fun while doing it, the indoor tries are really the best way to do that.
Awesome. Excellent. All right.
Okay.
And now, looking ahead to the next subsequent distances coming up. So we're now looking at our sprint and Olympic distances, maybe even super sprints thrown in there. So between now and early June, right, we have some of our early races we have coming up that we really want to start talking about, because probably between now and March is about when people would start to want to try to at least get their base building going up and getting ready for a lot of these races. So in addition to we had talked about earlier in a previous video where we talked about the multi-sport nationals coming up in May. We also want to talk about a little bit more about something that's near and dear to our heart, which is the Chicago Triland Series. So the first race of that is always now going to be that first weekend of June, the Leon's Triathlon. Joy, tell us a little bit more about Leon's, about the Chicago Triland Series. Why is that important? Why might somebody want to start training for that now, looking ahead to the early months?
So Chicago Triland Series, are 3 races in that series, Triland. So we kick off the Triland Series with Leon's Triathlon, which is literally over the border in Hammond, Indiana. So you have a sprint and you have an Olympic. It is in is it Wolf Lake? Wolf Lake, small lake. It's not intimidating as Lake Michigan. From there, we go to across the border on the other end, Wisconsin, the Pleasant Prairie Tribe, where is another really good race. They put on a really great race year after year. And then we ended with the Chicago Tribe here in August. So you have 3 states, 3 races, and you can actually guide yourself, gradually build up. If you want to do the sprint at Leon's to see how you're feeling, then at Pleasant Prairie, maybe do the Olympic. And if you're feeling really good and really squirrely at the Chicago Tri, you can possibly do the triple series, where you do the super sprint on Saturday and the Olympic and sprint on Sunday. But why do it? Well, number one, it's a good way to meet a goal. You can do it with friends. Get friends to do it with you. You can actually do it as a relay. So if you don't feel really confident on the swim, you might have a friend who's a swimmer but hates to run, and that other friend who just likes to bike everywhere. It also is a fundraiser. If you choose to fundraise for one of our partners, Dare to Try. Those were their big fundraisers. And then guess what? If you do all 3 races, you get a special swag. Do we know what the swag is this year?
Unannounced yet.
Not yet, but
they had pretty sweet hats last year. So
the hats were really sweet.
Yeah, we should have brought one as a prop.
Oh, darn. But it's a good way. And also, if you're looking at saving money in terms of traveling, you have Indiana, you have Wisconsin, you have Chicago, if you're in the Chicagoland area, or if you're in Wisconsin or Indiana. So
yeah, all those races you can drive to on race morning, so you don't need to spend the night at a hotel somewhere. The other thing too, if someone is new to triathlon or just intimidated about doing an early season race, you can also volunteer. Like Dare to Try has a lot of adaptive athletes at Leon's Tri, and they need a lot of volunteers. So you can volunteer just to see what triathlon is about. So if you have a friend or family member you want to encourage to get into triathlon, have them volunteer at the first race. At Pleasant Prairie, they actually have a really big and good duathlon. So if you're not ready to swim yet, you could do a duathlon at Pleasant Prairie.
Run, bike, run.
And then do your triathlon at Chicago Tri. And so it's a very good progression for a first-timer as well. And we will give credit to people who volunteer. So you can still get the swag. Even if you do a duathlon or if you volunteer. So you could volunteer at both races and then race at Chicago, however you want to do it. it's all about just participation and having fun.
Yeah. And speaking of those newbies, because I know us as coaches, whenever we get the largest number of inquiries for people that are brand new to the sport that want to jump into it and try it for the first time, typically they just think, oh, well, the only thing that is here is the Chicago Triathlon. So they know about it. It's fairly visible. And they're like, all right, well, I'm gonna start my triathlon journey with the Chicago Tri. And for those that are new, and for those that are watching, if you're fairly familiar with this sport and in this region, that's a massive race, and it can become very overwhelming, especially if you're not starting to train until like, I don't know, 1st of June, when you start getting those inquiries. It can be very intimidating and it'd be very stressful. Whereas if you start a little bit earlier, get that base building going, as we talked about earlier, get all those skills down, maybe do some indoor tries, get some of these sort of like dusting these cobwebs out early. Then what this Triland series also helps you out with is, again, as Joy has described, maybe you're not building all the way to the triple yet, but you can also use the Leons, use Pleasant Prairie, which are really good, smaller, flatter races where it's less intimidating. You get to learn the ropes of like, what does a triathlon entail? What does a transition look like? All of these little things that if you were to try to experience all of them at once at Chicago, it can be very overwhelming and pretty stressful. Whereas going through Leon's, going through Pleasant Prairie, once you get to Chicago, you're a seasoned triathlete at that point, and it'll be just like, oh, I know what I'm doing. I know how to set my bike up. I know how to do this transition. There are fewer questions. You're feeling a little bit more confident. And if that is your A race, you're going to have a much better race at that point. So all the more reason why this Triland series is going to be not only something that can be successful for a new athlete, but also fun for that seasoned athlete that's looking to sort of compete with themselves and compete with others during the full series.
And then also to get into the back of your head right now, Leon's is the first triathlon in June. What's the thing that everyone dreads in the month of June or May? Open water swimming.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout. Open Water Swim Chicago will be opening up their registrations within the next few months, but we will have the information when it opens up. So the first swim is going to be that Tuesday after Memorial Day. Get on your wetsuit, or if you don't have a wetsuit, you do have a chance to rent a wetsuit to see if a wetsuit is something that you would like to invest in or try it out. So just know that that is an option there if you're like trying to kind of freaked out about open water. But also, Coach Chris actually does host an open water swim clinic at Leon's the day before.
Yeah, we also do unofficial meetups too beforehand. But yeah, actually, that's a good segue. Additionally, if anyone is wanting to work on their swim now and not wait until June or May, there's a lot of swim programs out there. I know all of us generally do swim lessons and have different swim group training, swim lessons as well. But we also have a swim camp coming up. The Tri-Pool School is coming up in February. It's out near O'Hare. But it's coming up in, just about actually exactly a month from today.
Yes.
Yeah. 21st and
So
22nd.
if someone needs to work on their swim, maybe you've been slacking a little bit in the off season, or you just want to kind of get up to that next level of swimming. Most people on average that participate in that will improve at least 10, 15%. I think the average is about 12 to 13% in one weekend. So most people take a full season to get up to that next level. And this is a good way you can do it in a very condensed short period of time. It's usually a half day on Saturday afternoon and a half day on Sunday morning. You get to meet people and work with a lot of great coaches too. So shameless plug for our upcoming Tri-Pool School as well.
So Chris, I'm a seasoned swimmer. I think I'm pretty strong. Is Tri-Pool School a pool school for me?
Funny you should ask. So when Brian did his first pool school a couple of years ago, he was in my lane. And how much did you improve by? Do you remember?
I went, so my posted my best 100 before coming to pool school was, I think I was like a minute 30 is what I estimated.
And what did I tell you I'd probably get you down to?
Under 120. Well, that's what I was shooting for.
Yeah. And what did you get to?
107.
107. So yeah,
and have gotten faster
and
since.
a strong swimmer getting a lot stronger. We even had one of the pool schools, we had Tim O'Donnell, pro triathlete. He shaved, I think, 3 or 4 seconds off his 100 times. So yeah, if a pro can improve,
As well as keeping it local, the woman who has won the Chicago Tri before also went down to a sub 1 minute 100. I believe she was like a 101 and went down to 57 seconds.
yeah.
And that's with a in the water push off. That's not diving in.
Yeah.
So,
And we've had people who are 3 minute swimmers,
yeah.
kind of back of the pack or beginner swimmers, get down to 1:30. I've had somebody shave 90, literally cut their swim time
In half.
twice as fast.
And we've also had folks who never swam
Yeah.
actually see some improvement.
Although I would usually say for the Trident Pool School, you want to at least be able to do 100 yards.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the goal. If you are still working on breathing and buoyancy, I would highly recommend private lessons.
Yes.
Usually in like 2 or 3 lessons, I can get
Yeah.
people to that point. So
And just sort of another shout out to an athlete that I've worked with. He's now like talk about somebody that's just gone all in into the triathlon community, is now part of the Madison Tri Club up there. But when he came to pool school, who was in the lane, I believe, with your wife, Shelly, he was extremely intimidated by just doing 100 yards, much less 200 or anything else like that. Fast forward, just only 2.5 years later, just completed the Ironman Wisconsin last year with an amazing hour-and-a-half swim. So
from zero to hero.
zero to hero,
Nice.
100%. So shout out to my buddy Jacob. So congrats. But again, successes all around, and it could be with strong swimmers, new swimmers, everybody in between. Everybody sees improvement. And again, it's not just about speed, but it's also about efficiency. And if you can just get more efficient in the water,
See, and technique.
100%. And that's a big.
So even if you don't sign up for a pool school or, boot camp type of thing, at least go and benchmark where you're at. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
People slack off. They don't want to do it. It's cold out. They don't want to get in the cold water. Just do it. Make that first step.
Which, by the way, I do have a little bit of an extra plug. I'm just going to tout real quick. So if you happen to be on the U.S. Masters Swim site and registered through U.S. Masters Swim, there's one of the three of us that is writing the swim workouts for U.S. Masters Swim Triathlon. So, and inside there, at the end of each month, I'm making sure you have that opportunity to do that little bit of assessment. Like an equality 200, 400 swim is a good way to kind of get a sense of like how you are at threshold and how you are doing at distance. So another good way to keep that barometer check every single month.
I think the membership is pretty inexpensive too.
Yeah.
So if people are not USMS members, they can join and they can get free workouts from Brian.
It is only $60.
There you go.
So anyway, lots of good swim stuff.
Yes.
Okay, let's now talk a little bit more about our long course things that are coming out for 2026. A couple key points that we want to point out, and Joy, please talk about a little bit, is the charity spots filling up for the Chicago Marathon. So let's talk about that first.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're wholeheartedly set on doing the Chicago Marathon this year and you didn't get in through the lottery or guaranteed entry via legacy program or Chicago distance program or a time qualifier, time is running out. Spots are going fast and furious. So check with the various charity providers because they might have 1, 2, 3 slots left. So just know that in the back of your head. Also, if you're looking at another world major, opening on February 4th is the lottery for the New York City Marathon.
Yeah.
So again, if you don't get into New York for the lottery, or you have not been a participant in their 9+1 series or their legacy series of doing multiple New York City marathons, you can also look at the charity route. Do the charity route immediately, just in case you don't, so you have that ace in your hole.
Yeah, I think last year most charities were running out of spots in like April or May. This year, most of them have sold out in December, and only a few have remaining spots now in January. So do not delay.
No.
Satchel. Okay, and then now shifting gears a little bit to Ironman, one quick update that we wanted to just make sure everybody was aware of, especially if you have one that's coming up relatively soon, and you're trying to train with any of the nutrition that is out on the course. Ironman has yet another new nutrition partner, and I believe it is a hydration partner.
It is.
Is it not? So, Joy, would you like to talk about it?
So, Ironman has parted ways with Mortal Hydration, and they have brought on Precision Fuel and Hydration. Only their hydration is the 1000
PF 1000.
PF 1000. So if you're interested in trying it, you can go on to the Precision Fuel and Hydration website to try it. Doesn't have an aftertaste to it, but also you can actually sign up and do a fueling plan with them. So I have done that for 2 marathons with them, and I love their products. It's not a shameless plug because I tried. Morton Gel is still on the course for all Ironman related races. Ew, gross. I don't like it. I think these guys love.
No, I tried it for the first time when I was out there in Rockford, and I was
This one likes it.
Or any of the what they
hey, and everybody's different,
Yes,
and that's okay. And that's okay.
Any of and they have different brands out there, but they call it their cluster dextrin or their hydrogel products, which are more kind of gelatinous, a jelly texture.
Yeah, that's the one I think I grabbed.
You have to chew it, so it's like half gummy, half gel. It takes a little getting used to.
Yeah.
But most of the marathon majors have them. I don't like the caffeine one, just the taste of it. I like the regular one. I can do those all day long, no GI distress. And most people do not have GI distress with that product. That's why it's become so popular in marathons and Ironman races, especially. So you'll still see the Morton gels, the regular and caffeine. You'll still see the Morton bars at Ironman races, but the hydration product, the PF 1000, will be on the bike and the run course. The biggest thing I would mention for people who are new to that product, even though they say PF 1000 and they say it has 1,000 milligrams of sodium, it's actually only 500 milligrams of sodium. It's 1,000 milligrams per liter, and 1 liter is about 2 16-ounce bottles. So if you buy like the tablets, if you want to use it in training, which you should, I'd recommend buying some. They have tablets. When you put 1 tablet in 1 16-ounce bottle, it gives you a concentration level of 1,000 milligrams per liter. But 1 liter is 33 ounces. So a 16-ounce bottle is exactly half that.
Yeah.
So you get about 500 milligrams, and it works pretty well. Most people are fine with it. Some people need to actually get more sodium than that. So I highly recommend that. And we might be doing some sweat testing here too. So shameless plug for dialing in your hydration.
Yeah, we're big on numbers these days, and making sure, especially with like all these great products out there that are helping you stay hydrated, fuel correctly, or help you try to figure out how to build up to a certain amount of carbohydrates. For example, if you're not used to consuming 70 or more grams of carbohydrates during an hour for a long course race.
Yeah, and if you're doing a short course, it's you just need something.
Yes.
You don't need to take in large amounts, but the longer you go, the more you need to take in per hour, both in terms of sodium and carbs. Yeah. We geek out on that for the long course.
But all the more reason that, the closer you are to knowing your true numbers, whether it's like what your sweat rate is, how much sodium you lose per hour, your RMR, like how well does your body burn fats and fuels? Like all of these things are quality, really great pieces of information. So if you haven't already done so, go out, find a place that can perform those for you. Come reach out to us. We can perform them as well. So any way that you can get that information and really help get your foundation of these numbers, especially early on, especially if you're doing a long course and you want to do it well, these are great numbers to have.